Anupji, you can try sharing your
Yeah,
screen.
I will just try. Yeah. Ekta ji, can you see the screen completely?
Yes, yes, I can. I can.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great.
Good afternoon all. This is Alok. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Mr. Kumar. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Alokji. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So we will start in next 2 to 3 minutes, Anupji and panelists. Just waiting for audience to join in. Thank you everyone
Yeah,
for
you
joining.
can tune into the music, please. Thank
Sure. You can stop sharing your screen and
you. Yeah,
Mahima,
I
can
will.
you start sharing your screen, please? Hello, all. Very good afternoon. Before I start, if someone can let me know, am I audible and loud?
Yes, Mahima, you are audible.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, hello, all again. A very good afternoon. Myself, Ekta, on behalf of the Analytics team and a partner, Ecubix, we welcome you all on a very interesting roundtable, which is power plant digitization for reliable operations and optimized efficiency using Industry 4.0 and 5.0 technology. So before we start the roundtable, there are a few guidelines that I would like to highlight and make you people aware of. Requesting all the attendees to be on mute when the speakers are taking the sessions and the panelists are speaking. We will make this very engaging with your questions, of course. So after the session, you can raise your hand, put your question to a panelist, or you can also put your questions on the chat box where I would take it from there to a panelist. So to start with, first, happy to introduce our partner, Ecubix. To speak about them, Ecubix offers digitally intelligent solutions worldwide. It includes real-time monitoring and analytics, IIoT integration, edge analytics, digital logbook, and predictive analytics using AI ML. Ecubix takes the responsibility to engage with client in opportunity assessment, calculating value of improvement, building a business blueprint, delivering required hardware, software services, and support to ensure that the improvement initiative is successfully implemented. Ecubix has already been helping many power and utilities companies for their journey based on the goals of efficiency, cost, and asset longevity. This session have some great industry speakers who will bring out some insightful thoughts on technology, which is steadily being embraced by large manufacturers as well to streamline operations. And to start with, I would first like to welcome Mr. Anup Garg, who handles Smartcom at Ecubix. So thank you, Mr. Anup, for joining us today. Over to you. And Mahima, can you please stop sharing the screen? Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And I'll just say a few words about Ecubix, and then Ekta will share the video. Right? Just a moment. Just I'll share the screen. So Ecubix is a business transformation consulting services company providing that brings information technology and operational technology together. So we primarily work in the area of OT. As every organization is still working on Industry 4, Ecubix takes pride in transitioning towards Industry 5. Industry 4 is all about machine learning and machine efficiency. However, Industry 5 brings back the focus to humans at the center of manufacturing with technologies which assist the machine operators or workers in discharging his duties more efficiently. So overall, what is this Industry 5 is all about is in the 8 hours that we have to work, it provides us enough freedom, it provides us enough efficiency needing data that this doesn't become too much of a matter of anxiety for us, because these issues are now cropping up in all of us who are working in the managerial areas, and there are serious anxiety issues cropping up in the whole world. And the reason is Industry 4, I would say, because Industry 4 kept only about efficiency and machine learning. So we are now transitioning ourselves as Ecubix, turning more towards Industry 5. I'll talk to you about it later. Ekta ji, can you just share the video so that will give a more...
Sure.
Yeah.
Anupji, can you please stop sharing a screen? I will, yeah. Give me a moment. Is my screen seen?
Yes. Yeah.
We are Ecubix, the growth catalyst in your digital transformation journey, tuned to the pulse of the digital future. We drive innovation with the digital technology ecosystem. From a humble beginning in 2006, we have transformed Ecubix as one of the top industry 4.0 solution providers. We are now serving clients in 15 plus countries. We are a CMMI Level 3 certified company, serving 100,000 plus users with a strong team of 200 plus technocrats. So far, industry has achieved more than $350 million saving from Ecubix products and services, and the same is still counting. Our presence is in industries like cement, agrochemical, pharmaceutical, pulp and paper, minerals and metals, ports, oil and gas, power. Ecubix is organized in 4 strategic business units, each focusing on different area of an enterprise. Smart Factory to improve production process and asset performance. Smart Supply Chain for better fleet management. Smart Channel for brand protection through genealogy and serialization, and Smart Sales for field activity management. Ecubix brings global best products to solve industry problems through strategic business partnerships with world leaders like OSI Soft, now Aviva, Seek, Waterfall, Sato, Microsoft. Ecubix is your growth catalyst for digital age technologies.
Yes, Mr. Anu. So now, can I move on to the next?
Please move on to.
Thank you. So we have seen a quick introduction about what Ecubix does. Now, on that note, I would like to invite Mr. Praveen Jadhav, Director, Regional Development, South Asia, OSI, which is now part of Aviva, and he will be assisted by Mr. Naveen. So thank you, Mr. Praveen, for joining us today. Over to you.
Thanks, Ekta. Thanks for introducing. I'm hope audible. I'm actually.
Yes, you are.
Great, fantastic. Thanks a lot. I'm joined with Naveen, who is our APM expert. So probably next 6-7 minutes, we would like to take you a little on detailing about how and how the APM trends are really looking great in power industry. Probably that's coming from our experience, what we are working in. Anup, can you take it to the next slide? Can you share the slide from your end, please?
Yeah, sure. Just a moment.
No problem. Firstly, it is a great initiative. I think Ecubix team for this initiative, bringing up all the industry experts on a single platform. Basically, we're talking about APM trends in power industry. We would definitely want to see, how the digital transformation have been helping all the power generation companies globally. And also we'll deep dive on some of the aspects of the trends and also see that how it is kind of helping up the global companies and bring some more perspectives and experience to the team what we are here in who joined. And since it's an open discussion, we can deliberate a little more in detail. Anup, next. Digital transformation trends in power industry. The latest survey, what was conducted with 200 senior executives of global companies, the expected productivity improvement of technology, use of technologies was expected to be 27% in next 5 years. Now, this spans up to be a detailed structure about to understand how these digital trends are really performing, right? From the operations analytics to drive operational efficiency and performance. Now we look at the automating the processes to improve the efficiency, or we look at the asset reliability and optimization using predictive and preventive maintenance. Now coming up to the layer structure of utilizing the digital industrial asset lifecycle management. All these trends are kind of contributing towards the improvement and the goals set out to ensure that, we are meeting up to the competitive way of working, since, it's the world is changing drastically in terms of, and there's a larger pressure on the industrial assets, industrial operations, and industrial organizations to perform better. Anup, next. Now, with the new normal, and we have been hearing about the digital technologies, acceleration of the value, how they are actually bringing up the cost by 5 to 30%, and also helping the overall industries to grow revenue by 25%. It's very important and imperative that the solutions, that digital technologies needs to have a fast and efficient way of support, which is impacting on how faster the data is accessible and the data is available for the people. Digital technologies also need to have more flexible and scalable working to ensure that, they are flexible to adapt to the changes, how the market is changing, and, also to the demands to meet up. Remote collaboration is one of the things which we've been seeing during the new way of life after COVID, collaborating across number of users, how the user data is getting utilized by the number of users wherever they are in the space, be it their operational users, maintenance users, their IT users. It's becoming very important that there's no need of the subject matter expert to be sitting in one place. He can always assist remotely. There are a lot of good examples are, the real case scenarios we have seen in NTPC, where during the COVID, they were able to really support their site teams from the central overall working using the PI system, where the data was completely analyzed. The collaboration was such that, they were able to give all the exceptional details to the site people for, to get the support part of it. Lastly, it is very important to have a secure way of sharing this particular data. Since we all know about the cyber attack perspective, it's becoming very important that, the overall architecture and working needs to be designed in such a way that, the overall data sharing becomes more secure. And that's where I think the video which showcased about the waterfall, I think, globally the customers have been seeing that, they tend to create the architectures to build a more safer network. Next. Now, use of industrial software and their adoptions and constraints is a larger topic which we've been seeing from with our experience working with all the global companies. While we talk about digital transformation, bringing up a larger analytics in a layered structures, we look at, how the data is being utilized and, is supporting to generate more revenue part of it, how the data sharing perspective is bringing up a larger perspective about bringing a cyber secure architectures. Also, very critical and important when we talk about adoption of digital transformation is about improving the remote workforce capabilities. Now, centralizing this workforce is also becoming a new norm, where, the centralized structures are supporting the distributed operations and maintenance teams who are in the field, who can really focus on their day-to-day activities, while the central teams are actually giving them the larger perspective about the comparative working, the comparative operations, and the maintenance part of it. Very important, we started seeing the adoption part of it is to see that how do we really optimize the overall way of working, improve the efficiency of assets, also, ensure that, we are performing better to increase the revenues. Now, while the adoptions from a digital transformation part of it is in a positive note, and it's a need of the day, we also see from a constraint standpoint, from a financial revenue viabilities, how do we really span up those projects into the overall working? How do we can do more of the work activities with the less of the manpower? How do we really equip those skilled workers at the at the operations and maintenance to ensure that they are supported with a lot of the data to do more work. Also, we'll also look at the many of the OEMs are like kind of giving a consolidated services based to warranties, where in fact it becomes a little of a constraint where the data is kind of not shared across. That is becoming like a black box which only serves the services, but to explore particular data and get more value out of it, it always becomes a problem. We also saw a lot of challenges between the business and IT standpoint, from the understanding, from the need part of it, how they differ. But we also have seen that, from the OT-IT integration standpoint, the things are getting, well worked in. Lastly, a very critical and important point of understanding from a big data, AI and ML, it's kind of very confusing always, why do and where do we use the big data? What value it brings up, what value AI brings in and ML brings in. It becomes a very important decision for IT and OT teams to understand, how do we really fix these systems and to ensure that, we work on those. Anup, next. If you really look from the APM trends in the power industry, we look at a very comprehensive APM portfolio. Organizations can monitor their assets, identify, diagnose, and prioritize equipment problems. And as I mentioned, the changing market conditions and shifting technology landscapes are putting a lot of pressure on industry's business. Technology triggers are like industry or Internet of Things, big data analytics, mobility, workforce collaborations. All these are bringing the opportunities significantly to improve the reliability, efficiency, and safety. In addition, we also are aware that the aging infrastructure and the workforce is also driving this overall working. And in short, prioritization is required towards it. And to remain competitive in today's industrial markets, it's important that we are actively looking at how do we really work efficiently and avoid any cost before the failure occurs. Asset performance management solutions actually helps the personnel to exceed on the safety, reliability, and the performance goals. The idea is again to collect the data, analyze the data, and give the actionable outcomes where he can have an optimized, proactive, and optimized maintenance execution plan. As a result, the plant personnel can get empowered on how do the equipment failure occurs, or before even get the failure occurs, that can be reduced. So from its journeys, sorry, Anup, can you go back? From a journey standpoint, we always look at a reactive maintenance to a risk-based maintenance. We always share our experiences with our customers we are working with about how do they really span this overall journey from reactive to risk-based maintenance, right, to see that how do we really act on the plan-based maintenance, rule-based algorithms, and also AI and perspective analytics to predict impending failures. Now, these are the stepwise way of working, which has a larger impact, and we always look at building that particular way of working with our solutions. Next. Great. I think I would now hand over to Naveen. Naveen, please, you can take over. Share your experience, Naveen, before you start. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Praveen. Yeah, hi. I have been working with Aviva for the last 1.5 years and working in the APM field for close to around 10 years now. And from the user's point of view, so the APM tool has been there and we are using in the power industry. So the main purpose of the APM is to increase the availability and the reliability of the assets, while at the same time minimizing the cost and the risk associated with operating those assets. So it brings an optimal balance between the under maintenance and the over maintenance strategies. The previous slide, which just Praveen talked about, is how do you achieve an optimum balance between the various, you can say the maintenance programs which could be there for a typical power plant assets. And Aviva can actually help you provide the entire spectrum of solutions, be it from say condition-based maintenance, be it the AI or the predictive-based maintenance, or be it the risk-based maintenance, in which you actually devise the failure modes, the failure causes, the FMEA analysis for the entire, you can say the asset class which you have for your power plant assets. So Moving towards the entire APM blueprint of Aviva. So we have three pieces put together: the asset strategy optimization, the asset analytics, and the asset maintenance. If you see, the ASO enables a risk-based approach to asset reliability, balancing the risk and the cost of safe and reliable operations by conducting the asset criticality assessment with reliability-centered maintenance approach, identifying the right maintenance approach based on these asset criticality, be it preventive, be it CBM, be it prescriptive. And all of this is coming from this standard asset library, which have close to 1,000 components, 1,500 failure causes, and close to 5,000 prescriptive tasks for a typical issue or a failure mode which is happening for an asset. So next is the asset analytics, which actually helping you reduce the equipment time, equipment downtime. In a way, it's giving you an early warning in weeks and months ahead of time. And we use the patented advanced pattern recognition or the ML-based models, the machine learning models, to actually give you the actionable insights from the operating data of that asset. So it is a combination of predictive plus prescriptive analytics, and this is more of actually collaborating and giving you the monitoring and the diagnostic capabilities for the entire asset class you have. Next is the maintenance. You can say the asset maintenance, which focuses on the executions of those uh, alerts or the notifications or the early warning. So this is more of a work permit solutions, mobile maintenance, enabling the workforce, making them the connected to the actual, you can say, the if operations which is happening at the sites. Again, the end goal is to improve the safety and reliability while reducing the risk involved. And the just to quote the statistics, around 10 to 20% overall OPEX cost reduction have been achieved by adopting the Aviva APM solutions. In a way, 25% reduction in downtime and close to 30% reduction in the maintenance cost savings standalone for the actual OPEX costs which are happening for the maintenance of those assets. Next slide, Anup. So the next journey revolution. So this is an important slide. If you see how the APM solutions or the industry 4.0 or 5.0 is actually helping the power customers. So if you see the insight and the decision support through the big data, I mentioned the word of prescriptive analytics or the AML is actually giving the actionable information and the underperformance or the prominent failure causes for an typical assets, which is in turn is helping the operators or the frontline workers to act upon the various issues. Balancing the traditional and renewable sources, like there are softwares and solutions in the APM portfolio which are giving you the guidance on an advisory kind of thing to attain the optimum balance between the thermal or the conventional power plants versus the new renewable sources of energy. Streamlining innovation, the tool is actually, you can say, no code, no code and no algorithms in which the users can develop on various use cases, the problem statements or the problems which are underlying over there. So it's streamlining in innovation. It is providing you a platform in which the information or the tacit knowledge of your subject matter experts can be captured and can be churned into giving you the actions and the informations to act upon. In a way, it is actually helping you reduce the total cost of ownerships. It means the total, the TCO gets reduced once you have the data churned in and the APM solutions are in place. Predicting the asset failures, I've already talked about, like giving you an early warning using the AI ML models, at least in weeks and months in advance, in which you can actually predict the asset failures and more than that, the subcomponent level failures which could be there. And on top of that, the prescriptive actions. If this is an issue, what all actions they need to take. This could be from the OEM guidelines, and this is all coming as a package from the asset strategy library. Mitigating the workforce turnover. This is more empowering the workers, the frontline workers, with the digital tools, enabling them to the manual logging of the data, giving them the you can say the information, first side information in their tablet tools and all to turn around the workforce works they are doing. Improving the worker safety and performance. It is more of giving them the you can say the SOPs, the checklists in hand, in which they can actually prioritize the action or the maintenance tasks which are they supposed to do, and it will give you a complete, you can say, the information which all tools are required, but all, you can say, the precautions, the do's and don'ts for those type of maintenance which they are doing. And then the maximizing the return on the asset investment is more of about the how do you take the ROI from the technology or the software piece you are plugging together. Next slide, Anup. So there are many case studies, many you can say cases to example, and for the Aviva APM, we have close to around 500 gigawatt being monitored using our software. But for this illustration sake, we are just quoting two examples. One is the Indian customer, which is Tata Power. So they have adopted the Aviva APM solution in which they are monitoring their, you can say, the thermal fleet, again in the gigawatt scale, and using them to actually reduce their unscheduled maintenance, moving from reactive maintenance to the proactive maintenance, and easing the information sharing between the different set of class, be it the site operator, be it the workforce, be it the plant head or the digital officer and all, how the actionable information or the information is getting inside. So this is the implementation of Aviva predictive analytics. And in the initial 25 months itself, they have got to around 200 early warnings, which are the actual, you can say, the actionable information, which is normally missed during the DCS or the normal, you can say, the conventional monitoring techniques, which we have in our power plants. And there are, out of those 200, there are close to 60 smart catches, which are called, you can say, the exceptional, you can say, the early warnings or the anomalies detected using the technology, so that they can prioritize the action and take the corrective maintenance for those assets which are tending towards a failure. So this is actually helping you them to improve the equipment reliability as well as the performance, leading to the cost control and better MTBF. Next slide, Anup. Yeah, this is another example, which is of Sener. This is a Spanish company, and they have the world's largest thermosolar PV installation. They are again using the Aviva predictive analytics, the Aviva APM suite, for their, you can say, the thermosolar fleet, which is powering close to around 120,000 homes, itself supplying the renewable energy to them. Again, the focus is again on bettering the workforce, maintaining through the remote supervision. Maintenance without stopping the production means less downtime. They are able to do it by adopting this technology. Next slide, Anup. Yeah, that's it. So this is the summary of it. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Reed. So this last slide is a very, very important slide, I would say. Sometimes you are sitting and thinking, our planet or my profit? Well, when you apply Industry 4, Industry 5 solutions from Ecubix, you are able to say my planet and my profit, they go together. So over to Ekta now. And Ekta, if anyone can would like to have any questions.
So thank you, Mr. Praveen and Naveen, for sharing insights on the subject. So audiences, I've already put on the chat box. Any questions, please let me know. You can raise your hands, put your questions, or any concerns you can drop on the chat box.
And Naveen and myself will be answering them and sending back to you once the session is over. Because otherwise, you know, I mean, it may take a lot of time. So I would always prefer if you can, yeah.
Sure. So now moving on to Mr. Anup, again to you, and welcoming you to share your insights on Ecubix TP3MS. Over to you, Anup.
Yes, I'll be very briefly telling you about this product that we have. Just let me, yeah. Is this screen visible, the new screen, or should I first stop?
Yes, the first one is, this is about Ecubix, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
it is.
Great. So yeah, so we come now to the heart of our topic, basically. See, APM is more of a, I would say, a step ahead from digitization, right? Once you digitize, APM is an additional program built on it, which will give you straightaway results out of AI and ML, which is built into it, as has been explained. Now, cost leadership. Why we are talking about cost leadership? Because digitization for reliable operations and optimized efficiency, once you are getting it, and if you use our product TP3MS, you are going to reach towards cost leadership gradually, not immediately, right? So basically, as you see, cost of electricity tantamount to 60 to 50% of all input costs in most metal extraction processes, right? Any control here can bring down the cost of production significantly, coming to the cost. Okay. Also, when I was talking to seniors in the power generation, even my CEO has been in this industry, power generation, and he keeps saying that each unplanned stoppage costs the power company not less than a few crores, right? A few crore INR, right? This is, I'm trying my best to put it, as mildly as possible, because he's been giving me some figures which are even beyond this amount which I was talking. This this will become more and more a subject of very survival as India increasingly integrates itself to the world economy. So we always say cost. Why cost leadership? Because if we have to compete with people who are against us, we see what is happening in the world around us, right? So let me be very clear: we Indians are smart. There's no doubt about that, and we prove it time and again. Only point is that why do I need cost leadership? Not to just create profits, but to make sure we are the best, right? Hence this topic, cost leadership. I have already spoken about Ecubix, so I'll straight away jump to the next slide. So what is this solution stack basically? So Ecubix works in, this is very briefly, I'll tell you, we work in these 4 areas of business. Smart sales, which handles all the field sales force of your company. And these can be, a lot of work can be done. And this is basically a sales management software. It gives a sales manager to you, a virtual sales manager to you, right? When it comes to, then we have smart channel, which is tracking and tracing all your goods which are flowing outside and inside, nothing to do with power industry, of course. And then coming to supply, smart supply chain, which involves in, for example, coal supplies, which are coming to your plant. If you can if you wish to digitize them, if you wish to know online what is the kind of available coal and all that, those kind of operations are done here. And smart factory is what this whole topic which we are talking about works, is all involved with. And all this, once we create these solution stack, what we come out with is predictive analytics, business specific applications, integration services. So all your SAP, third-party applications, social media, everything can get integrated to your IT system. So ultimately, OT will get integrated to the IT, and you are able to, democratize your data rather than you go to a control room kind of a situation, which used to be in the previous times. Data infrastructure services, and last and not the least is automation, right? This is a slide which brings a lot of pride in me when I'm, bringing it up, because if you see the companies which we are involved with, ONGC, NTPC, MSN, worldwide, we handle their software requirements. Then we have Zydus, Cadila, Dr. Reddy is one of the top organizations in India, and we are continuously working with them since 5 years. And through our software, they have also won this award of the best manufacturer of 2022-23 this year. So all thanks to our and their collaboration. And not that Dr. Reddy's is small, or I am big, or I am small, or they are big. But when we shake hands together, the handshake is a big one. Coming to the countries which we have served in. So there are 14 countries that we have served in, and even Japan, they have, and it's a very proud moment when they had asked us to integrate the full soft energy, this solar unit which they had built in India, which was one of the biggest ones at that time. So we have done the whole integration work for that. Coming to Now DP3MS, the solution, this has actually 4 pillars, and whole power system is structured in this product basically. So Ecubix DP3MS is the digital power plant performance managing system, and it's a unique NCLC platform offering an infinite expandability to upcoming new technologies. The solution is a platform. That's what, and this platform is built on the 4 pillars. So Aviva Pi system. We'll very briefly, I'll be telling about all these things. But majorly, I would like to talk about the benefits which are accrued out of it, because when we are going on a deeper call, more detailed discussions will be done on the 4 pillars. But these 4 pillars are, one is Aviva Pi system, which is the heart of the whole thing. Then Ecubix e-checklist. This is a part of industry 5 technology, I would say, and where we are digitizing your e-checklist and digitizing your e-SOPs, so that this whole thing can be removed from paper and brought it out on the glass. So we always say from paper to glass technology. And we have already got some very large orders from companies like BASF in Taiwan and in Indonesia, and we are implementing this solution for them. Then comes one of the best products which I think is there is Ecubix DRF, data reliability services, I would say. So what happens is once you have a data lake, right? Obviously, this data lake is there. I know. So 2 lakh tags are there. Everything is functioning on fine. In one tag, we are taking, in 1 second, 4 data points, for example. But imagine if you have to monitor all these 8 lakh data points and 1 data point stops functioning, or 50 data points stop functioning. What do? Your results are going to get little bit blunt, right? If all data points work, everything is working fine, results are sharp. The moment this goes down. So this data reliability platform, which we have designed, it gives an online detailed information that which is the data which is working and which is the data which is not yet working. It will keep happening. I'm not saying that once you create a data lake by Ecubix or any company, it will work forever. No, there will be mishaps. There will be some data points not working one day, some not working the other day, some not giving the right data, right values also. So DRF, Ecubix DRF is able to counter that. The solution platform that that comes out, which is the use cases, are then startup and shutdown, efficiency comparisons can be made. Plant availability factor is given to you. Then plant load factor can be provided to you. I mean, we have already done that. So these are the use cases we are used to. Asset performance details are given through some very interactive dashboards. Heat rate, which is one of the key factors of a power plant, a thermal power plant at least, that we will be able to give you in a real-time basis. AI/ML based optimizations, which we do using Python and our platform, and this works wonderfully well. We have done a few operations, and of course there are many other companies who do. I would not say we are the best here. There are people who may be best, but everything has been built on this platform, right? Condition-based maintenance. This is one of the immediate benefits that you get from scheduled maintenance. You straight away come to condition-based maintenance, and as your knowledge, as the experience increases, we move slowly to the predictive maintenance model. And last is as I was already telling you, descriptive interactive dashboards. In fact, this one descriptive interactive dashboards, Ecubix, has been retained by many companies who have data lakes made by many other organizations like IBM, etc. And there we go over and make a descriptive interactive dashboards out of the data which they are getting. So that is what is Ecubix DP3 MS all about. So now I'll come very briefly on Pi. So it collects data from various operational data sources. This could be anything, these sources. All these are connected to a Pi server. And these connections, this is where the whole riddle actually gets a bit murky. So we have 450 connectors and 250 industrial protocols through which we are able to connect each and every kind of an asset data to this Pi server. And once it comes to the Pi server, it gets managed and enhanced through these 5 steps: data archiving, asset framework, asset analytics, event frames, and notifications. And this, then what it gives you is, it gives you a visualized form, which we use Pi Vision for that. And we also use other sources also to be able to deliver some beautiful visuals to you. Also, it is able to share data through Pi Cloud Connect or any other Cloud Connect which you may have in your company already. Azure or anything can be easily done. Integration, it integrates to all business intelligence tools. So in one plant, you may have one tool. In the other plant, you may be working on another tool. All these gets integrated right down to the central unit, right? So, when we are talking about SE integration, the ones who are on the call, if you have tried to do this integration, you know how tough it is. Well, we have been able to do it. And for that, we got a great pat on the back by Adani's. At Adani, we integrated this S3 for them, and they were very happy with us. SAP HANA gets integrated. I mean, what I'm trying to say is each and everything under the sun can get integrated through the system. Now, Ecubix power industry customers, I have just put 5 of them. These are the biggest ones and most prestigious ones, I would say. So Tata Power, as you know, is already taken 200,000 tags, and more tags are being purchased by them on a regular basis. I would be knowing exactly how many tags every time they purchase or whatever, because I am in the client acquisition team. Then there is a team which is in the client servicing team. So they have more data on it. Western WBPC, PDCL, yes, 5 thermal power plants we are integrating. Now we are moving on to integrate 11 of them out of the 14. And in last phase, we'll be integrating the last 3 of them. Right. So this is how we are going to work in WPCL. The work is on. Prayagraj Power Generation Company Limited is basically an NTPC. This project has come through NTPC, and they actually rely on us. We have done quite a few projects with NTPC. And as you know, NTPC themselves are a consultant, which always gives one of the highest efficiency in thermal power. They always range in 70%. Each of their thermal plants, once NTPC is involved, they go up to 70% efficiency. SV SoftBank Group, yes, as I told you, we did that for them for around 5 gigawatts. And they integrated 6 solar plants. Again, it was a big project. Now SB Energy has been bought by Reliance Energy, where we are now working to integrate this module with the other utilities. And JSW Energy also. So these are the people that we have already worked for. And now I will come to what we have been doing. So for example, in Tata Power, so you see, here we needed to actually unify multiple generation plants, all so to say bundled up together into a single real-time platform. Any underperformance can be traced back to the root cause almost instantaneously. That is what we were able to provide. And corrective actions are highlighted to the relevant teams by senior management. Any corrective action, if it needs it gets recorded, and the action gets stored in the system for creating an SOP for corrective actions in cases of similar issues of recurrence. And that is one thing which is very high, I would say, highly rated about PI is the getting into the root cause. I think I have to move fast. Ekta, right? I have very less time left.
Yes, yes. And we have many questions on the chat box.
Yeah, many questions. So let me move very fast. WPCL, I have already discussed what we have done, but enabling continuous real-time data access and monitoring of critical process parameters. See, this is totally a public sector concern. A big culture shock was there when we tried to do our work there. But today they are so pally with us. It's so nice to talk to people from WPTCL because they never thought that computers could help them. They always thought digitization will give them less people, and there'll be sackings and there'll be reduction of manpower. Nothing of that sort has happened, and they are are very we are very happy to get calls from them because it's a very pally call, right? So this is what we have done for them. Fan efficiency, pump efficiency, boiler metal temperature monitoring, turbine efficiency in both areas, high pressure and the intermediate pressure. We have done that. Now I would just say what this DP3MS is all about. So see, all your asset templates are available. Pre-built analytics are done. Organized dashboards with multiple states. So these are those dashboards where you can dive deep down. Preset alerts and notifications are given to you to an extent that they can become more and more sharp as the experience of the data handling increases. So that is what happens. And startup monitoring, loss analysis, asset performance monitoring, everything gets bundled into. And guess how much time we will take to deploy this in each plant? Just 4 weeks. We can do it parallelly also. So if we have 18 plants, we have to do it in 18 plants. In 4 weeks, all 18 plants get connected. Okay, I may be getting excited. So let me put a few more weeks here and there. But this is again, I mean, we have got a lot of thumbs up for this speed that I'm talking about. So this is basically just the same thing spoken in a different way. Startup and shutdown process. So I'll not talk about this. These are the KPIs. All the people who are there listening to me, they know that there can be many more KPIs, but these were the ones we have already done for many people. Many other KPIs are there. And we are confident to get them also. Everything of this gets, once digitized, you will get a real time, I mean, in real time, you will know what is a KPI today, right? You don't need to wait for a quarter or a half yearly end. And this is how the project lifecycle moves. Just 1 minute I will take. We first take an existing plant overview. Then we do the feasibility check. We create prerequisites, which we inform to you. Then we get into solutioning with the plant people. This takes a little bit of time. This green thing takes around, I would say, 1.5 weeks of continuous discussions. And then use cases are being built. This is where the scope of the project comes in. And then condition-based maintenance can be applied. Predictive analytics are then applied, and asset performance monitoring, what I am talking about is the peak of the whole thing, APM. This system is able to provide, enhance the performance of management, engineering team, operational team, and performance of the boiler efficiency, etc. All are into, tied up into it. And the dashboards which we provide are in these 7 areas, right? So these are the kind of dashboards. I wouldn't like to discuss each of them because it will take a long time. but very interactive and very perspective creating dashboards. I know for seniors, perspective creation may not be that important, but let me tell you, once this screen gets flashed and you can see, I have seen this happen in case of very senior people also, who are very happy to see these kind of perspective creation. So these are the kind of dashboards which we give you. Very interactive. This is a very big report, daily operation report, which again we are able to give you on a digitized manner. Thank you very much. Over to Ekta. I'm sorry, Ekta, for eating into so much time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anup. Anup, we have like 7 to 8 questions now. When do you want to take it?
I will go through them. Give me some 2-3 minutes of time. In the meantime, any example questions you'd like to ask about APM or this DP3MS?
So we have a question from Mr. Sarkar. The dashboard report and triggers can be customized. Can they be customized by the customer themselves instead of Ecubix team involvement?
Yes, they can be customized. And we are very happy to tell you they are basically pick and drop method of dashboarding. So I would say in JK Papers, when we did it, we created for them, and later on they created these for themselves. Same happened in ITC Papers also, because I was involved in paper team. That's why I'm talking about papers. And they created some 250 dashboards out of just 40-50 that we created for them. So they can be customized by you. We'll always be there to shoulder any help. So yes.
So what we'll do is, Mr. Anu, we will introduce the panel speakers and we'll start with the discussion. Meanwhile, I would request you and your team to go through the chat box, because we have like 10 to 12 very interesting questions from the audience. And if you could answer there itself, so everybody can have a look as well, in the best interest of time.
But when I answer, I will send a mail to everyone. So be rest assured.
Yeah. And also people have requested for the presentation also, so we can take care of that as well.
Sure. We'll do that.
Okay. So, of course, thank you, Anup, for making this so interesting. And we had lovely questions coming in. But with the best interest of time, let's move to the roundtable discussion. So, basically, the roundtable discussion, we would be focusing on insights of pointers like the role of asset performance management in power generation efficiency. How does predictive maintenance work in increasing key assets efficiency? Role of digitization in power generation reliability and efficiency. How data integration is transforming the power sector, and the real-time big data integration solutions and the benefit. So I would request all the speakers to cover their thoughts around this, or your expertise, whichever is the best. And happy to introduce our speaker. We have Mr. Jayanta Kumar, Vertical Head Power with Hindalco Industries Limited. Ms. Loveleen Swen, Head FAB, Bamnipal Tata Steel Limited. Ms. Nidhi Chaudhary, Group Lead Power and Steam, Reliance Industries Limited. Mr. Gaurav Agrawal, Plant Head, Deputy General Manager Operations with Godrej Consumer Products Limited. And Mr. Rajat Jain, Chief Digital Officer with Vedanta Limited, JCS. And of course, we have Mr. Anup, who has joined us. So to start with, I would be looping all the speakers and adding them on the spotlight so that all the people can see you. To start with Mr. Jayanta Kumar, your thoughts on the subject, starting with you.
So thank you, Mahima, and Ekta for arranging such a platform. Already speakers, they were delivered regarding how this implementation of the digitalization for asset management as well as the operational efficiency. In detail, Mr. Anup explained. Actually, he explained the subject which needs 4 or 5 days or many more days for explanation, but he nicely and very in short, he has explained very nicely the theme of the entire thing. So, as a part of understanding, power plant engineering process has not changed. What we are looking initially during the industry 4.0, how to get data and analyze that data manually, but at least data, sensors and IoT, those were more predominantly used. Subsequently, we use this platform, how to analyze this data and get this data, all this real-time data, historians. After getting historian data, we analyze the trend. And after getting real-time data, we analyze what is going on real-time. Then after analyzing both, now we are creating the analytics over this to create alerts to the respective engineer and different level or CP head or board level or corporate level. The alerts, specific alerts, as he explained, the different dashboards will be created. We are creating 5-6 layers of dashboards, and accordingly the alerts required to the person, what type of alerts will go, that is going to get it. That is one general utilization of the all these things for our power plants, and which will bring a little delta change in efficiency. What DCS was doing, DCS was operating within a band of upper limit, lower limit for tripping or giving alarm. But now this data analytics part or digitalization part, it is helping us to observe what is changing within that pattern and what delta can be saved, where we are losing or where we can gain. For example, in us, I will give you only one example. We are putting a digital on real-time system, which is monitoring the flue gas temperature and soot blowing. Accordingly, the soot blowing we are now reduced. The number of times we used to say 6 months before, now it is reduced, thereby saving the steam as well as it has reduced the flue gas exit temperature, thereby gaining substantial gain. So there are every small area we are having that type of things. Now I leave to other panels to share their experience on these things.
Thank you, Mr. Jayanta, for your insights. Anything on that, Anup, or we can move to the another speaker? Okay. So now, thank you, Mr. Jayanta, for your insights. Now, can I invite them, Ms. Loveleen Swen, to please join and share some insights? Loveleen, thank you for your time. Loveleen, I guess, sorry, you are on mute. If you can just unmute yourself, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, thank you. So thank you for the opportunity to be a part of such an insightful discussion. So I would just put up some lights on that we are discussing right now. So I think this post-pandemic era, what we are having right now, I think we have been like almost, we are thinking of right now having 8.5% growth in the GDP by 2030. And by then, I think the entire industry, the manufacturing sector is going to have an input of somewhere around $1.25 trillion towards the entire economic growth. So when we are talking about the manufacturing sector per se, then I believe power is going to be the most important thing. And it's just not about the generation part, but also the distribution, transmission part as well. So in this entire discussion, we have been touching upon the generation part, the distribution part as well. So the best in the class things that we can take up by Industry 4.0 or 5.0 has already been discussed. And thank you, Anup, you were superb. You told everything that we should have also learned. So it is basically a learning session also for all of us over here.
Right.
With so many things coming up, with so many new setups coming up, because right now the market has become volatile, and along with it, we are also thinking about having a sustainable production, right? So power generation right now is just not about generating power and dissipating it or distributing and transmitting it. It is all about having a sustainability as well. It's the entire value chain that needs to be covered up. So starting from getting the coal or the renewable source of energy till the end person who is getting this power, whether it is the industrial or the domestic one. So covering every aspect is the most important thing. And I think Industry 4.0 has done justice by having the entire, the digital transformations and everything has brought up by Industry 4.0, as Anup told us very clearly about it. Now, when we talk about Industry 5.0, it is mostly about human-centric or value-centric, I'll say. So in such a scenario, we're talking about sustainability, governance, and circularity, and maintaining, the reduction in wastage and so many things. I believe power industry is going to be one of the foremost thing that is going to give importance to or it is going to be one of the major things that would help the entire manufacturing sector also to boost up and give a spurt to it. When we talk about the APM suites, yes, it is one of the most important thing, because the predictive maintenance analysis, the data analysis that we all have, and that we want to go up with the entire prescriptive kind of a system that we want to have. So this thing needs to be done from the entire value chain. Right now, our focus is mostly on the, the generation units. We have not even gone beyond to the distribution. So just imagine, I'll just give an example, because I could see one of the questions putting up by one of our viewers and listener. So there was a question that there is a loss of almost like 20% of AT&Cs. So what could be done, and how this Industry 4.0 and 5.0 transition can help us? So a small example I would give, the entire system that we have across the country for right now we are talking about smart grids, right? So when we think about smart grid, we are thinking about it in a individual perspective level. Individual perspective in the sense a small grid that will have a smart sensor system or smart system in it. Now just imagine the entire grid of the entire country is connected to each other, or if we can call it as the composite grid system, smart grid system. Just imagine a state is having lack of power and another state is having a surplus. We have a centralized system, and such kind of a smart grid using entire, the transmission from Industry 4.0 to 5.0 can help us in that. So this 20% of the AT&C reduction will definitely come down, definitely. And yes, one more point that I would really put up when you were talking about, Anup, regarding this Ecubix system, one point you touched upon that was regarding the Ecubix DRF. I remember that. So right now we are in an era where it is just not about AI. I would repeat it. It's just not about AI. It is right now about regenerative AI. This is the new concept that we are right now talking all across the globe. Now, what is this regenerative AI? Regenerative AI is something that would actually regenerate itself, or it is a self-fulfilling thing, or it will take the course correction itself. So just imagine in the entire power sector where we are right now actually struggling to increase the efficiency, reduce the downtime. Also, we want to reduce the cost of production, because right now the CPU is quite high if we talk about, and India is one of those 20 to 25 countries where we have a difference in the CPU for industrial power and the domestic power. So in such kind of a scenario, having regenerative AI is one of the most important thing. So this is what going to be the next thing that we'll be talking about after 4.0 and the transition that will take place in 5.0. So once the system, the AI-based system, it will take up the entire, it will give you the analysis, and it will also give you the prescriptive type of a solution to your problems at plant level or beyond that. Then the thing that will come up will be how the system will take self-course correction by regenerative AI implementation. So all these things are actually going to help us in having a system that would be actually giving us the entire value chain in a proper manner. And this is what would help us in getting India into a developed country where every person, the last mile reach should be there, where the person will be getting power in his house. So this is how I believe that the entire predictive maintenance thing, the APM suites, and all this related data, AI, IoTs and IIoTs, everything is going to help us out. So that is my thought with this discussion forum. So over to you. Yeah, Ekta, thank you so much for the opportunity again.
Pleasure
Thank
is
you,
all
ma'am.
ours. Thank you.
You
Thank
took
you,
us a
Ms.
bit step ahead, huh? Let me tell you. Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yes.
Very interesting insights. Thank you, lovely, for pouring in with your thoughts. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Nidhi Chaudhary, coming from Reliance Industries. Your insights on the topic, Nidhi. Over to you. Requesting you to please unmute yourself.
Yeah, sure. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening to all of you, and thanks for this opportunity. So my thought on this asset performance management is basically two parts. It has two components. One is the operational performance management, and other is the maintenance management. So when you talk about operational performance management, it's more related to your efficiencies, heat rates, and fuel consumptions in the plant. And when you talk about maintenance management, it's more related to the unplanned shutdowns, trips, and forced shutdowns in the plant. So my understanding is the performance management is totally dependent on the maintenance management, because I cite few examples of it. Suppose there is a heat rate loss in a gas turbine. There is an impact in the heat rate in a gas turbine. There are several factors. One of them can be the compressor efficiencies. Compressor efficiencies, when you say, it may be due to unperiodic offline water washes which are required because there is a fouling in the compressor. So in this case also, the maintenance is impacting the efficiency. Then there are other examples like there is a CFBC boiler efficiency loss. So in that case, there may be several issues. One of them can be the APH fouling, which is again a maintenance issue. So most of the cases, most of the places, it's the maintenance which is affecting the performance. So they go hand in hand. Gone is the era when these were the two different areas of a plant operation and maintenance. So now it's the era of operation-driven reliability. Reliability do impact the efficiency. Yeah, that's my thought on the asset performance management. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Nidhi. Now, moving on to another, Mr. Gaurav Agrawal from Godrej Consumer Product. Can we have your thoughts, Gaurav, on this? Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks, Ekta. And first of all, I would like to give thank you to Brain Analytics and Ecubix for creating such a platform where like it has been a quite this knowledgeable session for all of us. So thank you for that. Like our two past speaker covered, so regarding something I would like to add in the same direction. So like we are running here the biggest soap plant. Basically, we are into the chemical and FMCG industry, being Godrej, and we are running here the biggest soap factory for the North India. Also, we have the Coil this manufacturing unit where if I compare both the units, so soap is coming into the medium level energy intensive unit, and Coil is among the high level energy intensive unit. So that's I'm defining on the basis of usage of energy what we are doing in the plant. So to give you an example, because this our plant, basically soap plant is considered as this highest this energy efficient plant among all the soap we are producing pan India. So we cater here the this basically large volume we are delivering to our customer. So one of the reason I will say, one of the aspect I would like to touch is basically role of the predictive maintenance in the this key asset performance. So inside here, like 1 year before, we implemented the concept of the digitization in the energy management system. So basically earlier, how it create a impact, basically that I will do, because generally FMCG industry, so that generally caters the very high number of changeovers. So like in the plant of 2 acre, 3 acre only, but we are dealing with the more than 40 types of different products. And we are having one, this critical changeover every day on our, this total 2 number of lines we are having in the our plant. So before implementing this, when we were not having the digitization in the energy management system, so basically there was no control on the energy part. What I mean to say that how much energy is particular SKU is consuming, like depending on their size and shape of the product. So basically utility performance is nothing utility performance generally depends on the two factors. One is that how much volume is coming into the contact of the that particular utility factors. Like if we are making soap, so if we are making the bigger SKU, so energy consumption should be more, and if we are making the smaller SKU, so energy consumption should be lesser. And secondly, how efficiently we are taking care of the heart of our utility. Like we have this series of equipment starting from the cooling tower, chiller, vacuum pump, compressors, and even the hot water generator and boiler. So basically, this total effects we are able to get via the this digitization process, energy management system. So like if there's any scaling condition, or one of the good example that I can give, like earlier we were running a very large capacity of cooling tower, in which we are not related it with the like ambient temperature. So like performance of the cooling tower depends on the ambient condition also, how much relative humidity that ambient condition have. And once we integrated all these systems, so we saw a steep decrease in our power consumption. Similarly, one of the our participant who asked the question that how the during the boiler efficiency analysis, so do we used to tackle the steam trapping analysis also? So my answer to this is also yes. So if we are taking overall, so such softwares we have implemented that they are doing the monitoring of steam tap also, and we are getting every data in the digital form. So clearly, as this Ecubix this stated that there will be a 25% reduction and 30% reduction, something that figure. So absolutely, I think even in the medium level plant also, I will say that works. Only thing we need to see that how judiciously we are designing that software, what data we need to basically, what should be our the catching criteria for getting the particular alerts, or in case of the utilities or any asset. So what limits we are fixing basically for the motors of particular equipment. So definitely it's going to this help in the overall energy management. So that's what my thought on the, and this basically has been the practical experience, I will say, for this my working with the Godrej also. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I'm very proud to see a person from consumer goods, FMCG.
Really quite interesting. Thank you.
And I was wondering that Gaurav ji, aap bore ho gaye.
No. Actually, it's not about bore. So it was a great, actually, like in the one example I will give. So I was also listening the this PPT, and we are discussing the 5 stage of maintenance. So I can relate with the most of the FMCG. So we are maximum on the predictive type only. Like we haven't gone for the risk management type and all these things. And most of the companies in the FMCG, they work on the either preventive maintenance or condition-based maintenance.
Yes.
No doubt, like the universe is changing, and I think we should take the pace also. And that's like with the PowerPoint, lot of with the power this plant. So there's a lot of opportunity to learn, and definitely.
I'll connect with you, Gaurav ji, again on certain other things also. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
definitely.
so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gaurav, for sharing your insights. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Rajat Jain from Vedanta Limited to share his part of interesting insights. Thank you, Mr. Rajat, for joining. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ekta. Yeah, it's good evening, all of you. And I think I thank you can answer this platform to provide the opportunity. And my thoughts on this topic is that I have heard you can say a lot of insights from all our colleagues and all. So I want to, you can say, focus on why we need digitalization for reliable operation, because that is the need of the hour right now. Okay, because we are focusing on industry 4.0, 5.0 nowadays, and there is a purpose. Because if you see currently the demand is going day by day on a higher side. If you see current India demand is around 250 plus gigawatt. And to make this demand in a sustainable manner, we should have a reliable solutions also available to cater this demand. Okay, so that's why we need industry 4.0, 5.0, so that we can connect all the systems. Okay, I heard, I think a few of the colleagues told we should have a connected systems. Then only we can take the improved decisions on the output side. Okay, so that's why this, you can say, subject has been done by the industry 4.0. Okay, which has connected all the machines into a central platform and in a very integrated architecture. And now the subject is that how we can utilize in more sustained manner. So that we are working on the industry 4.5.0, which is that how we connecting the human. Okay, so that we can take the better decisions in terms of the output. So that way, digitalization is playing the major role, because if you see what is the difference between the conventional and the new age, you can say, solutions. Earlier, we are focused more on the standalone data. People has to go different, you can say, areas and collect the data. But nowadays, it is very simple to get that data in a, I can say it is on a fingertip. Of, you can say, OT integrations like OSFI, G, there are multiple OEMs are available. Okay, so that is as per the, you can say, the maturity of the plant. So that's why the one important subject is the digital maturity. I think we have to also focus on the digital maturity for any such new systems implementations like APM and all. So if we improve the digital maturity, your system will be more, you can say, user-centric and more sustainable. And I think what Gaurav was saying is that he has also seen that, you can say, output side, it is more providing the ROI. So similar is on the other plants also. If we have a matured systems, because if we have a operational data which is more reliable, then it will provide more reliable results. If we don't have a reliable data, it will not provide the reliable results. So that way, your output may, you can say, increase also sometimes, and it will decrease also as per the available systems. So that is why, yeah.
This DRF, no, DRF actually we brought out as a product only for that.
Correct.
Because there were times when we found results were not good, and then we went back and said, oh, so-and-so thing is not working.
Correct.
Then we said, this is not work. So let's make it, bring it up on the...
Correct. So that's why there are 2-3 points. If you see, one is the integrated architecture in terms of data, in terms of security, because security is also equally important to get the data. Because in the APM systems, a lot of systems are deployed right now on the cloud side instead of the on-prem. So that's why you have to see the security layer in terms of plant system security, cloud security, and then deploy the solution in an appropriate manner. Okay. And also considering the, you can say, Indian government, you can say, focus on the ESG operation. They're also moving into the solar, okay, and renewable operations also. So that way, I think flexi operations is also now coming up. And I think I have seen many industries are working on that. For that also, a lot of digital solutions are available to manage those things in an integrated manner. So that you can having the coal thermal plant, you have your solar operations, you are having the renewable operations, that how you can manage in a appropriate manner. Because many times you have a shutdown plan. So that way, how you can utilize the other, you can say, energy to overcome the import power duty and all. Okay, that way, that is also an important factor where digitalization is playing a role into managing the flexible operations. Okay, so lastly, I'll say that all the solutions are, you can say, helping industry based on the maturity of the existing situation. So that way, digitalization will be a step-by-step procedure from the, I can say, the OT data to the APM data. Okay. From layers, I can say layer 0 to layer 3 or layer 4. Okay, because the APM is now a layer 4 system, but for that, you have to be an integrated or very mature layer 3 systems in terms of SCADA, in terms of your operational data, and with the secured platform. Okay, and I can say it will surely provide the results in terms of ROI and with the total human connect, which industry 4.0 is majorly focusing on, to prescribe the solutions and totally a closed loop systems, so that human will be connected and there will be no you can say actions open because of any disintegrated solution, which is not fully available in 4.0. That is connected piece of 5.0. Okay. So that's it from my side on this topic and the thoughts.
Thank you. Yeah, one thing I realized when when you were saying that, and even we realized as a company, Ecubix. So there will be a specialist guy giving you one area of expertise. Then there'll be a specialist guy giving you another area. But you know what? Now, as we can see, the whole thing is coming into convergence.
Correct.
Pura ka pura jo sara system. For example, now psychiatrist is sitting with the AI guy. I mean, how else can AI be generated, right? So this psychiatrist and these doctors, psychologists are sitting together with the IT guys, and they are creating this that how a person ends up catching a ball in the air. So he talks here to him, then he generates that, right? So that's why, companies like Ecubix come. Sorry, thoda sa, I'm sorry, Selu wala baat ho raha hai. So I don't want to actually seem that, let me be very honest, but वो दिखेगा. So कुछ point मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ. What I'm trying to say is कि what companies like Ecubix, which are now coming in, we are companies which are generated out of demand. Okay, our MD, he was also a simple employee, not a rich guy. So he just ended up thinking that let me start doing this part and then that part and then that part, and then we grew. Okay, we were not planned growth, I would say. It's a more evolutionary growth and evolving to the environment which is being put forward by people like Rajaji, by people like Lovely Ma'am and all that. You have asked us to do things and we have ended up doing things, right? So this is the place. These are the kind of now people who are coming in and they will give you a full integrated solution. So there is a question here that would you also take care of sensors? So yes, in case of BASF, Malaysia, we own the sensors also. Not only we take care of them, we own them, we replace them, we handle the warranty, which is a very big pain. We were an IT company and they asked us to do that. But he said, let's do it. What we ended up saying was, we are an end-to-end solution provider. Okay. So today, if somebody says, Anup, put a sensor, I'll put a sensor. Can you maintain it? I'll say, I'll maintain it. If he says, you buy it and put it, I say it will cost you 15% more. That will be my cost. You buy it yourself. So even if then he says, no, please buy it, we go buy it and implement it, right? So that's how we have ended up doing. So thanks to our customers, thanks to the demanding nature, we have become so. So what I'm trying to say is no more limbs will be required for lab management. No more Excel will be required for just mathematical management. We end up now creating a very a platform where you start talking to him. So this platform which we have made, DP3MS, it's kind of a thing which will be just served to you, kind of a food which served to you, and you start tasting each part of it. More experiential, I would say. And once the experience is complete, you end up creating wonderful results for your organization. So that is what I want to say. Ranjit ji, aapse thought when you were moving around, and I realized that's what we have actually done, sewed ourselves together. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anup.
Thank you so much. So Anup ji, before we wind up, there were a few questions. Do you want me to read some of them and we can address those because we still have a very good number of attendees and we have all the panelists ready?
Yeah, we can do that, but some questions needed some real better deep answer. See, in very small way, I can say yes, no, right? But I would like to answer them. Most of the questions are, I have already answered in my introduction, when I was saying that we handle every part of it, right? All the sensors will be handled by us. We will buy the sensor and put it at your office. If you say, I don't want to invest in sensor, I will invest it. And of course, become richer. Thank you for not investing. Let me tell you, I will make more money, right? The fact is, we want you to make more money yourself, right? Because we want to remain in IT area. But if you ask us, we can do things, right? So that's how this organization is there. So all the answers, all the questions which are there, yes, the answers are good. And one of the very tough question was the 30 megawatt we have not done this small work. Okay, so I had no answer. But Gaurav ji ne bahut acha wo diya. So that's why I was clapping. I said, okay, uska answer mil gaya. So he said, even in a small area, he was able to generate, good efficiencies. So I would say that give me a chance to answer them in a very nice, particular way. I'll sit with my CEO, who's a veteran of this industry, power industry. He has been in Adani for dog years, I would say, right? And I'll sit with him and crisply I'll make a answer to everyone. And maybe in a day or two, I'll share with everyone. Would that be okay?
Okay. So, Mr. Anupji, I think then this would be a closure on that note. So, on that note, I would like to thank all our audience for specially taking out your precious time and being here with us on this very, very interesting roundtable. Thank you, all our speakers. I would start with Mr. Rajat Jain, Mr. Gaurav, Mr. Jayanta, Ms. Lovely, Ms. Nidhi, Mr. Naveen, and Mr. Praveen Jadhav, and Anup, sir, for being here and sharing wonderful insights on the subject. Of course, we had a lovely set of audience having lovely questions, and Anup would be taking care of them and answering with you by getting one-on-one basis. We shall be sharing the sessions video and also the presentation once I have it from our partner Ecubix to share with you guys. And on that note, again, thank you so much and wishing you a lovely evening ahead. And also, we would be reconnecting you for connecting with Ecubix team for one-on-one, some very good brainstorm meetings. So on that, my team will reach out to you for your convenient date and time and request if you can help us with those date and times to take this discussion forward. So thank you so much, everyone, and lovely and pleasure meeting you on a virtual platform.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thanks, Ankita.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your business unit.